For many travelers in the United States, Europe feels familiar. Cities like Paris, Rome, London, or Barcelona have become almost expected, destinations seen countless times on social media and travel shows. But beyond the well-worn roots of Western Europe lies a country that feels untouched, raw, and astonishingly diverse. A place where ancient history meets dramatic landscapes, where hospitality is a way of life, and where your travel budget stretches far further than you might expect. That place is Georgia, a country sitting quietly at the crossroads of Europe and Asia, waiting to be discovered. Georgia is not the U.S. state, and it is not a destination most Americans grow up hearing about. Yet those who visit often describe it as one of the most surprising places they have ever experienced. It is a land of soaring mountains, medieval stone towers, wine traditions older than most civilizations, and cities that blend Soviet history with modern creativity. Georgia does not try to impress you loudly. Instead, it reveals itself slowly, rewarding curiosity and openness in ways that few destinations still can. Located between the Black Sea and the Caucasus Mountains, Georgia occupies a strategic position that has shaped its culture for thousands of years. Empires have passed through, leaving behind layers of architecture, cuisine, and traditions. Despite invasions and political challenges, Georgia has preserved a strong sense of identity rooted in language, faith, food, and family. For travelers seeking something authentic and deeply human, this country delivers an experience that feels increasingly rare in modern tourism. Georgia sits at the meeting point of Europe and Asia, and this geographic reality defines nearly everything about the country. To the north rise the towering Caucasus Mountains, forming a natural barrier between Georgia and Russia. To the west, the Black Sea opens the country to maritime trade and subtropical landscapes. To the south and east, Georgia connects with Armenia, Azerbaijan, and Turkey, linking it to ancient trade routes that once carried silk, spices, and ideas across continents. This position made Georgia both prosperous and vulnerable throughout history. It was influenced by Persian, Byzantine, Ottoman, and Russian empires, yet it never lost its unique cultural core. Christianity arrived here early in the 4th century and remains a central pillar of Georgian identity today. The Georgian alphabet, one of the world's oldest writing systems still in use, stands as a symbol of cultural continuity that survived centuries of external pressure. Most journeys into Georgia begin in Tbilisi, a city that captures the country's contradictions better than anywhere else. Tbilisi is not polished in the way Western European capitals are, and that is precisely its charm. Cracked balconies hang over narrow streets. Sulfur baths steam beneath domed roofs, and modern glass bridges cut across ancient neighborhoods. The Old Town is a maze of cobblestone streets, colorful wooden houses, and hidden courtyards. Churches sit next to mosques and synagogues, reflecting centuries of religious coexistence. Walking here feels like moving through layers of time, where medieval walls, 19th century architecture, and Soviet-era buildings blend into a single urban landscape. At the same time, Tbilisi is youthful and creative. Cafes, wine bars, and co-working spaces fill renovated factories and basements. The nightlife scene is surprisingly vibrant, with underground clubs that attract international DJs and artists. For Americans used to clearly defined tourist zones, Tbilisi feels refreshingly organic. You are not watching culture from the outside, you are immersed in it. Costs in Tbilisi are another pleasant surprise. A high-quality restaurant meal often costs between $10 and $15 per person. Local wine can be as cheap as $3 a bottle, even in restaurants. Comfortable hotels range from $40 to $80 per night, while budget travelers can find excellent hostels for under $15. For digital nomads, expats, and long-term travelers, Tbilisi offers one of the best value-for-money city experiences in Europe. If Tbilisi is Georgia's soul, the Caucasus Mountains are its heart. Rising dramatically along the northern border, this mountain range rivals the Alps in beauty while remaining far less crowded. Snow-capped peaks, deep valleys, alpine meadows, and remote villages create landscapes that feel cinematic and untouched. One of the most iconic destinations in the region is Kazbegi, also known as Stepan Sminda. The drive from Tbilisi along the Georgian military highway is an experience in itself, passing through gorges, rivers, and panoramic viewpoints. As you approach Kazbegi, the mountains seem to rise suddenly from the earth, massive and imposing. Above the town stands Gergeti Trinity Church, perched on a hill at over 7,000 feet. With Mount Kazbek looming behind it, this church has become one of the most recognizable images of Georgia. Standing there, surrounded by silence and vastness, many travelers describe a sense of perspective rarely felt elsewhere. Outdoor enthusiasts will find endless opportunities here. Hiking trails lead to glaciers, waterfalls, and remote villages. In summer, the weather is cool and refreshing, while winter transforms the region into a snowy wonderland. Unlike the Alps, prices remain accessible. Guided hikes often cost under $50, and guest houses provide hearty meals and warm hospitality for a fraction of what similar experiences would cost in Western Europe. Further west lies Svaneti, one of Georgia's most dramatic and culturally distinct regions. Isolated by geography for centuries, Svaneti developed its own traditions, language variations, and architecture. The region is famous for its medieval stone towers, built between the 9th and 13th centuries to protect families from invaders and feuds. The town of Mestia serves as the main gateway to the region. Surrounded by peaks over 16,000 feet high, Mestia feels like a living museum set against a backdrop of extreme natural beauty. From here, travelers can hike between villages, such as the multi-day trek to Ushguli, one of the highest continuously inhabited settlements in Europe. Svaneti is not a luxury destination, and that is part of its appeal. Guest houses are simple but welcoming, offering homemade meals featuring local cheese, bread, and hearty stews. Electricity outages and rough roads remind visitors that this is still a remote place. For American travelers seeking authenticity over comfort, Svaneti offers an experience that feels deeply rewarding. Georgia is often called the birthplace of wine, and with good reason. Archaeological evidence suggests that wine has been produced here for over 8,000 years, making it the oldest known wine culture in the world. This tradition is still alive today, particularly in the eastern region of Kakheti. Unlike modern winemaking methods common in Europe and the United States, traditional Georgian wine is fermented in large clay vessels called cuvivri, buried underground. This process creates distinctive flavors and textures that feel earthy, complex, and entirely unique. Visiting a family-run winery in Kakheti often feels less like a commercial tasting and more like being welcomed into someone's home. Wine tours in Georgia are remarkably affordable. A full-day tour with transportation, tastings, and meals can cost as little as $40 to $60. Bottles purchased directly from producers often cost under $10, even for high-quality wines. For American wine lovers, Georgia offers a chance to experience something truly different without the premium prices found in regions like Napa or Tuscany. Food in Georgia is not just sustenance, it is a social ritual. Meals are meant to be shared, celebrated, and remembered. The country's cuisine reflects its geography and history, combining fresh herbs, walnuts, cheese, bread, and slow-cooked meats into dishes that feel both comforting and bold. One of the most famous dishes is hinkali, large dumplings filled with spiced meat or cheese. Eating them properly is almost a ceremony, involving careful bites to sip the broth inside before finishing the rest. Another staple is khachapuri, a cheese-filled bread that comes in many regional variations, including the iconic Ajarian version, topped with egg and butter. Dining in Georgia is remarkably affordable. Street food snacks cost just a few dollars, while generous restaurant meals rarely exceed $15 per person. Portions are large, flavors are rich, and hospitality is genuine. For American travelers used to tipping culture, it is worth noting that service charges are often included, though leaving a small tip for excellent service is appreciated. To truly understand Georgia, one must experience a supra, a traditional feast that goes far beyond food. A supra is guided by a tamada or toastmaster, who leads a series of toasts that can last for hours. These toasts honor family friendship, ancestors, love, peace, and life itself. Wine flows freely, but the emphasis is not on drinking for excess. Instead, each toast carries meaning, often accompanied by stories or reflections. For visitors, being invited to a supra is a sign of deep hospitality and respect. It is also one of the most memorable cultural experiences Georgia offers. For Americans accustomed to fast-paced dining, the supra can feel almost transformative. It slows time, encourages conversation, and creates genuine connection. Many travelers leave Georgia saying that the warmth of the people left a stronger impression than even the landscapes. While mountains dominate much of Georgia's image, the Black Sea coast offers a completely different atmosphere. The city of Batumi is Georgia's main seaside destination, known for its subtropical climate, palm-lined boulevards, and eclectic architecture. Batumi feels almost surreal, blending historic buildings with futuristic skyscrapers and colorful public art. Some travelers love its energy and nightlife, while others prefer quieter coastal towns nearby. Beaches here are pebbled rather than sandy, but the warm water and laid-back vibe make it a popular summer escape. Accommodation in Batumi ranges widely, from budget apartments to high-rise hotels. Prices remain lower than most European beach destinations, especially outside peak summer months. For travelers seeking variety, combining mountains, cities, and seaside in one trip is one of Georgia's greatest strengths. One of the most common concerns for American travelers is safety. Georgia consistently ranks as a safe destination, with low levels of violent crime and a strong sense of public order. Solo travelers, including women, generally report feeling comfortable, particularly in cities and tourist regions. Transportation is straightforward and affordable. Marshrutkas, or shared minibuses, connect cities and towns at very low cost. Trains offer a more comfortable option for longer distances, while domestic flights connect remote regions like Svaneti. Renting a car provides flexibility, though mountain driving requires confidence and caution. English is increasingly spoken among younger Georgians, especially in tourist areas. While learning a few Georgian phrases is appreciated, travelers can navigate the country without major language barriers. Visa policies are generous, allowing U.S. citizens to stay for up to 1 year without a visa, making Georgia attractive for long-term travelers and digital nomads. But Georgia still feels undiscovered despite everything it offers. Georgia remains largely off the radar for mass tourism. This is changing slowly, but the country still feels refreshingly uncrowded compared to Western Europe. Popular sites are rarely overwhelmed, and spontaneous interactions with locals are common. For American travelers tired of over-touristed destinations, Georgia represents something increasingly rare. A place that feels genuine. It does not exist to perform for visitors. Instead, it invites them to participate, to listen, to taste, and to slow down. Georgia challenges expectations of what Europe looks like and how it feels. It offers dramatic nature without high prices, deep history without museum fatigue, and hospitality that feels personal rather than transactional. In a world where many destinations are becoming increasingly similar, Georgia stands apart. Georgia is not for travelers seeking luxury resorts or predictable itineraries. It is for those who value authenticity, depth, and discovery. It is a country that rewards curiosity, patience, and openness with experiences that linger long after the journey ends. For Americans willing to look beyond the familiar map of Europe, Georgia offers something extraordinary. Towering mountains, ancient traditions, unforgettable food, and genuine human connection come together in a way few places still manage. As more people discover it, Georgia's status as Europe's hidden gem may not last forever. But for now, it remains one of the continent's most powerful travel secrets.